Today, we're tackling the challenging task of setting boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother. If you've ever felt like you were walking through a minefield, trying to protect yourself while also maintaining a relationship, this episode is for you. Setting boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother can be a daunting and emotionally draining process. If you've struggled with guilt, fear, or the sense that your boundaries are never respected, know that you are not alone. As a certified Catholic neurocoach with extensive experience helping clients navigate narcissistic relationships, I'll share practical tips and strategies for setting and maintaining healthy boundaries with your mother. By the end of this episode, you'll have a toolkit for asserting your needs, managing guilt, and protecting your well-being. Don't miss this opportunity to learn essential boundary setting skills, gain confidence in asserting your needs, and start creating a healthier, more empowered relationship with your narcissistic mother. Setting boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother can feel like navigating a minefield, as they often respond with manipulation, guilt tripping, or emotional blackmail. Sounds familiar? Let's talk about practical tips and strategies for setting and maintaining healthy boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother. We'll also discuss common challenges and get some guidance on how to overcome them.
Hi, I'm Christy Murray, and I'm on a mission to help women that were raised by narcissistic mothers heal and grow. As a certified neurocoach specializing in narcissistic abuse recovery and a survivor of covert narcissistic upbringing, I'm sharing the tools and support you need to thrive and break the generational cycle of narcissistic abuse.
Podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the complex world of covert narcissistic motherhood. In today's episode, we'll be discussing practical tips and strategies for setting and maintaining healthy boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother. We'll explore common challenges you might face and offer guidance on how to overcome them, emphasizing the importance of consistency and self-care. First, let's talk about why boundaries are so crucial when dealing with a narcissistic mother. So boundaries are limits that we set in our relationships to protect our emotional well-being, to protect our autonomy and sense of self. Actually, even our own relationships, our time, our children, and even money. We'll talk about covert narcissistic spending habits and depleting other resources in another episode. But when you have a covert narcissistic mother, boundaries can be particularly challenging to establish and maintain because she uses manipulation tactics to push back against them or make you feel guilty for having them. However, setting healthy boundaries is essential for your mental health and healing journey. They help you reclaim your autonomy, reduce the emotional toll you're dealing with your mother's behavior, and create a sense of safety and control in your life. So how can you go about setting boundaries with your covert narcissistic mother? One key strategy is to be clear and specific about your limits. For example, let's say your mother has a habit of showing up unannounced at your house and expecting you to drop everything to entertain her. You might set a boundary by saying, "Mom, I appreciate your visits, but I need you to call and ask before coming over. I have my own schedule and commitments, and I can't always be available at a moment's notice." Actually, I just saw a video last week about a mother-in-law who just stops by whenever she wants. She has her own key. So the daughter-in-law confronted her, and of course there was a fight, and the mother-in-law had the audacity to try to kick out the wife, saying her son wants her out. So I do understand that in some families, it is acceptable to just drop by. But if it's affecting your current family situation, your current relationship, your marriage, then it's a different issue. It's not just simply stopping by to help or hang out. It clearly is driving a wedge and affecting your sanity and your mental health. So boundaries are important. Another important tip is to communicate your boundaries calmly and assertively, using I statements. I statements to express your needs. For instance, "I feel overwhelmed when you call me multiple times a day to vent about your problems. I need to set aside time for my own self-care and responsibilities. Let's plan to have one weekly phone call to catch up instead." Yes, this feels like you are still treading lightly, but you will find peace when you have your space and your time. Of course, setting boundaries with a narcissistic mother is rarely easy. She may try to push back, guilt trip you, or even lash out in anger. That is why communicating calmly and treading lightly is important. It's essential to be prepared for these challenges and have strategies in place to maintain your boundaries. One common challenge is dealing with the guilt that often comes with setting your boundaries. Your mother may say things like, "I thought you loved me," or "I've done so much for you, and this is how you repay me." Remember, that this is a guilt manipulation tactic, and you have every right to prioritize your own well-being. Practice self-compassion and remind yourself that setting boundaries is an essential act of self-care and not selfishness. Another challenge is staying consistent with your boundaries. It can be tempting to give in when your mother pushes back or make exceptions when you feel guilty. However, consistency is key to maintain your boundaries, to making your boundaries effective. If you do slip up, don't beat yourself up. Just recommit to your boundaries and keep practicing. Setting and maintaining boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother can be emotionally draining. Oh my goodness. That's why self-care is such an important part of the process. Make sure you're taking time for your activities that recharge and nourish you, whether that's spending time in nature, engaging in a hobby, working out, or practicing mindfulness. Surround yourself with supportive people who understand what you're going through, whether it's a therapist, a support group, or trusted friends and family members. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. You've been isolated long enough. Setting boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother is a brave and important step in your healing journey. It's not always easy, but with clarity, consistency, and self-compassion, you can create a sense of safety and autonomy in your life. Remember, your needs and well-being matter. You matter. You have every right to set limits and protect your emotional health. Keep practicing. Be patient with yourself. And don't hesitate to reach out for support when you need it. In this episode, we've discussed practical tips for setting boundaries with a covert narcissistic mother, or a narcissist, period. But how can you put these strategies into practice in your own life? Many people who have narcissistic mothers struggle to set and maintain healthy boundaries and need guidance to develop a personalized boundary setting plan. That's why I've created the Heal Maternal Wounds quiz. This quiz is designed to help you assess your current boundary setting challenges and provide personalized recommendations for asserting your needs and protecting your well-being. By taking this quiz, you'll gain clarity on your unique boundary setting needs and receive a customized action plan with practical strategies for communicating your boundaries, managing your guilt, and maintaining your emotional well-being. Don't continue to struggle with unhealthy boundaries. Take the first step towards a more empowered, healthier relationship with your mother today. To get started, simply click on the link in the show notes or go to healmaternalwounds.com and take the quiz. It only takes a few minutes and you'll be on your way to a more empowered and healthier relationship. Not just with your mother, but it's a plus. Having healthy relationships, having healthy boundaries with friends and at work is essential as well. Now I have a juicy bonus tip for you. When setting boundaries with a narcissistic mother, it's essential to have a support system in place. Now reach out to trusted friends, family members, a neuro coach, or a therapist who can validate your experiences and provide emotional support. You build your tribe that's supportive for you. Remember, you don't have to navigate this challenging journey alone. Bye for now. Before we go, I want to remind you to check out the valuable resources we've compiled for you in the show notes, designed to support you on your healing journey. If you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast and leave a rating or review, as it helps us reach more daughters who need to hear these important messages. We also invite you to share your own experiences, insights, and questions with us by emailing the show, as we believe that by coming together and sharing our stories, we can create a powerful community of healing and validation for all daughters of narcissistic mothers. Thank you for tuning in to Maternal Narcissism Unmasked, how daughters can heal and thrive. Remember, you are not alone in this journey, and with each step, you are reclaiming your power and breaking free from the chains of narcissistic abuse.